Yeah.
Do you?
No.
You think we
So
can
did
beat this
you-
storm? It's over. So, the consumer said that.
I would say that. I would exactly. I just don't know what paper it was, like.
Oh, is this?
Hold on, put it here.
I only have the idea of the holes.
Okay,
No, it's right here, so I get it.
There we go.
I didn't take my.
Yeah, I got.
How are you feeling, Jen?
Nice ones.
Breathe out.
Take your time. Take
Drill
your
out.
time.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. There, no, it's high. He should keep on. Not all of it.
All right, so everybody's ducks in a row, or at least, you know, in a group. Yeah,
I'm shifting it to go.
I'll go ahead and call this regular board meeting of Township Township to order on Wednesday, June 10, 2026 at 6:01 p.m. If you are able, please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, It's small, little better, you know, that's just small. Roll call, all trustees are present. Brings us to reports. We have no presentation. Treasurer Howard, would you give us the treasurer's report, please?
I'll be happy to. As you noticed a minute ago, I was handling some last minute bills that I had to calculate into what was prepared for the report, but I have all that ready. So, in terms of our fiscal health, it remains extremely healthy. Cash on hand at the end of May 31st in our general account, bank account was $1.82 million. That's 400,000 less than a month ago, but that was due to some investments we did, take some money into the line class fund. Let's see. Yeah, so that's when it did come down. And fiscal year 2026, which is what we're in now, will be over on the 30th of the month, so we're getting close there. I'm happy to report though, in terms of departmentally spending, we had no overages, we haven't had any this year actually. And I was gonna report we didn't have any significant payments, but I was just handed a few minutes ago, so late bills that had to be paid before tonight, so I will just make an amendment to the report that that total is $256,000 of late receipts that we will pay. And one thing I want to point out, there were a few with our engineer for our pathway and water system improvement. Also the engineer for the old Gallagher lift station on the road. And so payments to Progressive AE for the canopy going around the building and other exterior improvements. They don't change the overall picture, just to open. So when we do the consent agenda, we will need to do that. We need to amend it to the this page. So that's it for now.
Thank you very much. Clerk Osmond, Planning Commission report.
Well, I picked up my wrong planning commission packet, but I think the only thing we had on our agenda at the last meeting was the amendments to the condominium project at Pine Trail Camp. And that was approved. It was not unanimous, but it was approved. And we looked at the draft of the data center ordinance regulations, and that looked very good. The next step with that is for Renee to send it on to our attorney's office.
Will that be for the 6-month moratorium or would
So what we're going to have to extend that.
it will extend that?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think we're 6 months until August,
Okay.
because we got approved in
No, I
February.
knew initially it was 6.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing more and more townships take that action.
Okay, thank you, Clerk Osmond, and thank you to all the planning commissioners for their good work. Manager report.
You'll think that this is not fancy, I'll make it fancy and organize it, but I can kind of give you a rundown. It's 2 pages.
Go ahead and kick it off.
Okay, so we continue to work on the River Bluff Park Access Recreation Habitat Restoration Project. So we recently met with the State Historic Preservation Office, SHPO, to review some mitigation requirements that we're gonna have to make. So our whole area is considered traditional cultural property. And so there are heightened requirements when we do projects that either involve federal money or money that's associated with the federal government. In this case, we're working with a legal settlement that is being administered by a group of trustees that involve some federal governmental agencies like NOAA and NIFWIF. And so we had to do a section 106 cultural review. We have our local tribes involved, so we're working through those mitigation requirements and kind of following up and getting our ducks in a row. But we're still hoping to publish our bid advertisement in early July. We might have to bring in an archaeological crew from Kentucky with some human remains detecting dogs, so a little complicated, so we're organizing that right now, but we still are dedicated to moving the project forward to start probably later summer. We did submit our quarterly report to the Michigan State Housing Development Authority, MISTA, for our housing readiness grant. So we were able to develop some recommended ordinances to create a hamlet overlay district that was presented to the planning commission. And the hope is at some point they would create a subcommittee to review those recommended ordinance updates. We did a kickoff meeting for a rural readiness grant through the Rural Development Office. So this was to do some preliminary infrastructure planning and roadway design for Blue Star Highway from Maple Street to 134th or North. We did complete interviews for a new community development coordinator and we identified a preferred candidate. That agreement is in your packet tonight. I did present to the Rotary Club today on our Riverside Park project. Also talking about the fact that we do have that $200,000 donation campaign that's being facilitated by the Land Conservancy of West Michigan, so just making the Rotary Club aware of that. I participated in a walking audit. The public school system is looking at a Safe Routes to School grant. So we walked specific routes around the high school and the middle school and also the elementary school to identify the current conditions and then opportunities for improvement. So there'll probably be more to come on that, but it sounds like the public school system is interested in pursuing that grant opportunity and would like the municipalities to participate. Let's see. You can see that the construction on the township hall is proceeding. We have the canopy kind of structure up. We're still hoping to have substantial completion mid-July. The utility committee, that's the 3 communities, did meet for a discussion 2 weeks ago, and we have a meeting planned for next week. So we're hoping to get through that agreement. We started the permitting process for proposed non-motorized paths beneath the I-196 overpass on Old Allegan Road. That is a lengthy process. It's gonna take about 12 months to go through the process. But we did initiate that. And then the Allegan County Road Commission was very generous with us and they submitted on our behalf a Safe Streets for all grant application. And this is to do a total reconstruction of Blue Star Highway between Maple Street and 135th Avenue. So it includes that, so the grant application was for $12.9 million. It's very, but that would include the engineering cost, any right-of-way acquisition, utility relocation, road reconstruction, sidewalks, crosswalks, lighting, intersection realignment. We have some traffic signals picked out for a specific intersection, and then also closing down some access roads and constructing a roundabout at another intersection. This is all supported by our Safe Streets Action Plan, our Blue Star Highway Corridor Safety Plan, and then some of the other corridor planning efforts that we're undergoing, like the Rural Readiness Grant. So Road Commission is probably in a better position to be awarded the grant than Saugatuck Township, just because they're a county. So they were willing to submit that application on our behalf. But essentially it was all their efforts that put it together, so that was exciting. And great that the Allegan County Road Commissioners wanted to do that for us. We did replace our aging and deteriorated cemetery banners. So we had a graphic designer design new ones for us and they've all been fabricated and installed, so you want to check them out. And then Sunset Park is almost completed. So if you ever want to go on Lakeshore Drive, all the landscaping is in, the furniture and the sign to be placed relatively soon, so it's not there already. But we're planning a initial punch list walkthrough. Let's like just a walkthrough to make sure everything is is good, and if there's something missing, we're gonna add it to the punch list of the contractor, notice that they have to come back and
Well, that was the last lunch that day.
all the last minute stuff.
That's for sure.
Is there any update? Probably not on the dedication ceremony.
It looks like it's gonna be the Friday that I proposed, that seems to be the date that it works for everybody, so I'll send that out.
Okay.
Doesn't work for the whole design committee, but it works for the board.
Thank you.
Thank you, that brings us to the public comment section. I'm pleased to see that we have people here for this. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. If you're speaking on behalf of just yourself, if you're speaking on behalf of a group, you get 5 whole minutes. I'd just like to remind you that this is a time for you to be heard by the board and considered. It's not a question and answer session. If you have specific questions or, feel free to set an appointment with, Franco or one of the trustees. With that, I'll go ahead and kick off the public comment. Is there anybody in the first row that would like to speak? Starting, no, sir. Sir, would you like to speak at this point?
Lots of question, but.
Sometimes if it's an easy one, we can address it. Why don't you go ahead and go to the podium and state your name and where you live here in the township.
Hi, my name is Trevor Salom. I live here in Soaptown Township. I just want to ask Manager DeFranco, one of my big questions is, can you give me an update on where we are with the bike trail between Epton's Quarters and Lake Street?
We are working with the state reservation office and our local tribes to get through some mitigation requirements, but we are hoping that we can break ground spring 2027. And that would see it completed from the captain's quarters all the way to where the trail ends right now on the other side of the bridge in Douglas.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for being. Anybody else in the front row?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead. Please state your name and where you live in the township.
So my name is Thomas Bickford, and I live right by Fenville, Saugatuck. And I've been working at the township doing volunteer work with a couple of you guys on the board. And today you guys are going to be talking about a potential employment of me. And I just wanted to come here and say that I've really enjoyed working and learning from you guys, and I would love to have the opportunity to continue this. And so I just thought it'd be good for me to come here and tell you guys that in person, so that you guys could, use that for this vote. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anybody in that next row? Yes, please. Just ready.
Have to read it. Becky Ackman, 684 Dale Court. February 2025, when paying property taxes, I asked the township office about the trash piling up on 6850 Dale Court. I was informed the township was very aware of the situation. On the township website, under parcel data, shows the first citation for 6850 Dale Court was documented on October 11th, 2024 for inoperable vehicles. This was months before I inquired about the trash, and others were concerned about the property as well. Trash citations were filed on January 31st, 2025. Additional citations followed with a total of 13 trash citations to date. Last citation documented on May 12, 2026. Township minutes dated February 8th, 2023 show the property at 6354 Old Allegan Road was deemed a dangerous structure. Property to be cleared of all debris and inoperable vehicles. The person responsible for the Old Allegan Road property has relocated to 6850 Dale Court, along with all the trash. Spring through fall, I call the township about 2 times a month, checking on the status of the cleanup. I have spoken to Mr. DeFranco 1 time on the phone and Mr. Lawrence 2 or more times monthly. Mr. Lawrence has been out many times checking on the property. We were told to show grace, be patient on unlicensed cars, trucks, tires not on rims, metal, wood, piles of soda cans pile up. Is this a scrap business being run on a residential road? Also, a tarp tent filled and overflowing with trash has been up for over a year. Is this tarp tent a permanent structure and has a permit from the township? If the tent is a temporary structure, how long is temporary? The tent is ripped, torn on the top and collapsing. Who has allowed this structure to be placed and allowed to stay on property? Along with sections of fencing to hide trash, is the fencing permitted? Just this week, additional trash has been brought to 6850 Dale Court. It has been approximately 490 days since I first inquired about the trash on 6850 Dale Court. Since the first citation issued October 11 of 2024, it has been 607 days with 13 citations issued. How will the property be compliant in order for the cleanup? It's going on too long. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else in that row, sir? No. Okay, and then no? Sorry to point, I don't mean to be rude. No, sir? Yeah. Mr. Lovers, Commissioner Lovers, would you like to speak right now?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Welcome.
Sorry, it's been a while since I've been here, but busy times. A few quick update for you. First thing, we got all the tax information has been sent in to equalization. That's been all compiled and figured, sent to the state, certified, long and short. We're at 13.8 billion for the county. So total SDV value, which is up about 10% from last year. And to equate that to taxable value is up about 7.34%. So. Good news, first, it's either new construction or increase in property value. So obviously now what comes next is, if you haven't already, each municipality will get the ratios because of the Headley amendment to roll back for all the villages, yada, yada, yada. So that's already been done. The health department informed us that due to warmer weather, summer, this is going to be a particularly bad tick season. They didn't have any other really clarity to say other than just watch out, especially in areas where you may not particularly think you might run into a tick or two, just something to look out for. And then the real alarming thing that Jackie said is they're starting to see species of ticks that are not normally found around this area. So species that potentially carry different diseases. That's the alarming, not just the virus. So yeah, just a word of warning: if you're outside, be cautious. Check yourself, your kids, your pets. Don't forget about your pets. They might have some issues with that. Next is pictometry. So we finished the new updated satellite imagery counting. So they used to be every 5 years. Part of this before, but now it's every 3. Oh, so
That's okay.
So that's been done. All new satellite images have been taken, and they're in the process of updating all the uploaded images to the website. So you take your parcel number from your tax bill, you can look up your property, and you can get a new updated image of it. So and we also thank all the municipalities that pitched in 50%. Some did, some didn't, to get that done and completed with. It's much appreciated. Has anybody seen the helicopter flying around with a big net underneath it? You know what it is?
No.
So that is the Michigan Geological Survey. They are evaluating the aquifer. I'm told up to 1,000 feet below the ground. To get data of levels, amount, it's like LiDAR. radar thing, you know, that for data, for that data. And then on the SCOLA budget, we've been told from social media is that people are equating that to the next step is they're gonna follow up where there's water and a lot of water in places that's where they want to put data centers. And I haven't heard anything that
Like we're-
connects the two here. So, just to relay any concerns, that's, I mean, people have said that, I'm like. Not the
Some of your
case.
other municipalities are, we're working on an ordinance to get ahead of that.
Correct. I'm glad you are, I mean, but you're saying that people are saying not the case. Two totally separate things. June 25th. Yeah, 2 Thursdays from now. Senior Expo is at First Baptist Church Valley. You know, get Daniel, so I don't get accused of looking at the seniors.
I'll get that.
From 8:30 to 1:30 at the First Baptist Church. They are information, kind of a breakfast. Some entertainment, information on services, so it's got, I hear it's a good time if you, and transportation. So,
Brad, which church?
First Baptist Church Valley. Well, we are also in the process of this being the end of the last year to use up the ARPA funds for 2 things. One is we're extending Wi-Fi to all of the county parks. Which is a useful thing. So that will be Wi-Fi service for visitors to the park, cameras for vandalism, visitor, just safety concerns, and other related Wi-Fi. But you're gonna say something,
How about the ones on the lake shore?
all of them,
Wow, that's great.
everyone.
Like the county park just south of your code.
West side.
Wow.
What about the state park? No.
That's not
That doesn't count. That would be good though.
It's not a county park.
I know, sorry. I wish it
Ely
would
Lake
go, I
is-
wish it would go up.
Yeah,
Ely Lake is the hardest
Pine Point,
one, because they're
Yeah.
farthest from
one. Yeah,
the previously installed internet.
I ride horses out there and you
Yeah.
can't get.
No.
It's a great safety thing for those mountain bikers.
Correct.
People enjoying that for our wonderful news.
So that also comes electricity, some of those parks have 0 electricity also. Cause obviously, if you have cameras, you need.
Yeah.
Electricity, so with electricity comes other things that can be done, parks. Camping sites,
Amenities, sure.
amenities, so. And then the second thing is a wellness outing, so. Up till July 31st, and it has been previous to this, it hasn't been already marketed here. If you know anybody who has a questionable well or septic system. If you qualify through the income limitations. Through the Community Action Council of Allegan, you may be available for a grant to remedy your situation. Or a free evaluation from the health department. So if you know of anybody. That is in that boat, in that scenario, they may be able to do that.
You send us that information.
Yes, I will.
Commissioner Rivers?
Yep, that's up till July, they can apply up till July 31st. And then that money has to be used somewhere else. Yep. And then senior millage ballot proposal, I've talked about that already. And last thing is Lake Allegan Association asked us to do resolution for letter of support for the Collins Dam sale, Phillips Hydro. That's what we did on their behalf, send it to the Public Service Commission, and we hope that helps sway their cause to recommend the sale of that, because in the end, they have the final approval, whether that goes through or not. So that helps. So that's all I have. See any questions? Thank you.
Thank you for being here, Commissioner Lovers. Okay, that brings us to approval of the agenda. I would like to add an item, right on the top. So that would be, we'll have that either 1A or have it just be 1 and bump everything else down.
That would be 13.1.
13 point, yes, okay, so 13.1. I'd like to add an item and the title would be deputy supervisor appointment. Got that, Ms. Pam? Thank you. All right. And then you had something for the consent agenda, correct? Not the agenda.
Yes, for consent.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, I would entertain a motion if there's no other questions about or additions to the agenda to approve the agenda as amended.
A motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll support that.
We have a motion to support, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously, brings us to the consent agenda. I understand Treasurer Hellmark has something he needs to just amend.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Two things. Okay, item one, bills and review of invoices, as I mentioned in my report, that figure of $165,000 needs to be changed with the bills that came in late. That should be $479,582.41. And in the approval of minutes. Because I thought this group did so carefully, we find a couple things we should correct to be accurate. So if you go to page 15 of the board book, these are the minutes for the committee of the whole meeting on Tuesday, May 12th. In the roll call, you'll notice that Treasurer Howard was present as absent. I think I was present, so we can take it out of absent. Then on page 21. Under 1.1, the Kalamazoo Lake Sewer and Water Authority Commission. Is for the motion carried by roll call vote of 5-1, it was actually 4-0. It says Helmer voting no, I abstained because I was subject to it.
So 4-0 vote with Hellmark recusing.
Right.
So let's have that.
And in a similar vein, on page 23, this gets a third item, motion by Bickford, supported by Osmond, relative to the Cal Lake appointment. Same thing, vote was 4-0 with Howard. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you. You're very much to just support each other and we're gonna. Okay. Anything else regarding the consent agenda? Okay, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended by Treasurer Hellmark.
I would make that motion to approve the consent agenda as amended.
I'll support it.
We have a motion to support. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye, opposed? We do not have any items under numbers 7 through 12 on the agenda, so that brings us to new business, other new business. And we will kick that off with item number 13.1, deputy supervisor appointment. And I will go ahead and kick off this discussion because my appointment to me. I have not had a deputy supervisor ever or for a long time, and when I did, I don't think I did a great job with it. It wasn't a working position, and the treasurer, Hellmark, and I think it's important just to talk about this, just humor me. We started talking about this a couple months ago because we had a question if his supervisor needed, or I'm sorry, his deputy needed to live in the township. So that just kicked off the discussion of we should be really mindful for the clerk, the treasurer and the supervisor having people in those deputy positions that are working. You know, they are not a placeholder, it's not in name only, they are contributing. And a nice side effect of that, a value add is we're bringing people into the fold to carry on kind of this legacy that we've worked really the staff here and the boards and commissions have worked really hard to build something really special here, so, and of course, I wonder if you have anything else, but, there was one person that really stood out that I really wanted to court as my, deputy supervisor, and that's Daniel Klask, and he's on via Zoom. Thank you for joining us, Daniel. If you're not unmuted, go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Sure, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. So Treasurer Helmrich and I met with Mr. Klask a couple of weeks ago, and we had a great discussion. We've identified a couple of target areas, one being potentially Kalamazoo Lake Water and Sewer Authority, and one being the MAC, which deals with transportation regionally and connectedness and the environment and all the good things. But Daniel has agreed to be my deputy supervisor, and I couldn't be more pleased. Daniel has also served the township in other capacities as a election inspector, chairperson, correct, Clerk Osmond? Yes.
Right.
We're really pleased to have you on board, and I would just love to hear from you if you're
Sure.
willing or wanting to say anything.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you. I appreciate the introduction, and I appreciate the confidence. Sorry I can't be there. I'm out of the state at the moment. But I know we have such a great board, great people in the township office, and great people in the township. So, and as you can see, obviously there's a lot going on, including the things that Abby just mentioned. So, I look forward to getting started with everybody, and just appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, and when you return, just come on in and we'll get you sworn in, correct, Cindy or John or Lori can do it, right? So just stop in, though there should be somebody here that could swear you in, and I look forward to connecting with you when upon your return.
Great. I sure appreciate it. I will do that. And I will apologize for having to run in a few minutes. So I will sign off in a minute or two, but I look forward to everything. Thanks, Abby, and the board.
We're looking forward to it too. Can I just add something
Yeah, of
for
course,
the
Mike.
Fox Sisters audience tonight? And congratulate and thank Daniel. I've mostly known him over the years through his election work, and it's exemplary, so we're very happy about this. But just so you understand, the audience, every township in Michigan, there's 1,200 of us, the general law townships, we're governed by one law. There's no variation, like cities can do all sorts of things because they have a charter. But the ruling within, that's why in a township, not only the supervisor, but the treasurer and the clerk are elected. In cities, they're staff, they're appointed people. They have to be elected in the township, as is the rest of the board. But the three of us, the supervisor, treasurer, and clerk, have the ability, they can appoint a deputy. The deputy can attend meetings and listen and participate to some degree. They cannot vote. So if Abby wanted Daniel to be at a meeting because you were out of town,
He can speak on behalf.
yes, but he could not run the meeting, and that would probably be the clerk. That's traditionally what we do. But he would not be able to. So it's not like subverting the will of people, but it's helping us get.
Yeah,
the job
that's an important point to make, because we are elected. And Mr. Klass, as far as I know, but maybe we need to ask MTA or Michigan Township Association, our attorney, that just to clear up, I know he can, like if he's on the MAC board, he can be a voting member on there, just not at this.
I would believe so. So we should know that.
Yes.
And then, yeah, because they might have their own rules of engagement. Or there are.
Steve said that I could have a representative. I hope that's, okay. We'll double check.
And the other thing I'll just throw in your education here is, most cities, their council people are non-partisan elections, because we're often asked, well, how come you have to be a Republican or a Democrat in the township? Well, that's state law. You have to have Democrats, but it's Just right there, little education on townships versus cities. Thank you, and congratulations.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I know, I deserve it, I'm like, sweet. Awesome.
Might have had one for a week a while, 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you again, and we'll go ahead and we don't need to take action on this because this is an appointment I made. Thank you for joining us, Daniel, and we'll see you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, so this would be, I guess, item 13. 2 is commission appointments. Daniel DeFranco, could you please kick off that conversation?
Yes, you have a few vacancies to fill, 2 on the planning commission and 2 on the zoning board of appeals. The 2 vacancies on the planning commission are for full 3-year terms that would start July 1. And then end June 30th, 2029. Commissioners Jackie Brown and Kent Butler, both of their terms have expired. Both have expressed interest in being reappointed. Mr. Butler is here tonight, so if you wanted to hear from him, I think that's why he is here. And we also have 2 vacancies on the zoning board of appeals. One is for a full-term full member, and the other one is for a full-term alternate. That is because Patrick Stewart's term as the full member is expired, and then Rex Felkler's term as the alternate is expired. Staff has spoken with both of them, and they would like to be considered for reappointment. We did publish the advertisement for the vacancies, but we did not receive any applications in to fill the vacancies. Other than the individuals who are interested in being reappointed. 40.
All right, is there any questions or discussion? I know we talked about this at our committee of the whole meeting yesterday, so I doubt there's anything substantial, but you never know. I would like to make a motion.
I'd like to move to approve the appointment of Jackie Brown and Ken Butler to the planning commission for 3-year terms set to expire on June 30th, 2029.
We have a motion by Howard, is there support? I'll support. Support by Marcy. Go ahead and call the roll on this one. Any further discussion? No, call the roll. Howard,
Yes.
Marcy.
Yes.
Aldrich.
Yes.
Bickford, yes. Osmond.
Yes,
It's 5-0. We have a second motion. Would someone like to make that motion?
sure, I would move to appoint Patrick Stewart as a full member and Rex Felker as the alternate member to the zoning board of appeals for 3-year term to expire June 30th, 2029.
We have a motion by Osmond. Is there support?
I'll support.
Support by Aldrich. Further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Osmond,
Yes,
Aldrich,
Yes.
Bickford, yes. Marcy,
Yes.
Homer.
Yes.
Carries unanimously 5-0. Okay. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, would you like to speak, sir?
Thank you, and I'm just shocked that more people aren't clamoring to be on the planning commission for the absolute joy that there's the opportunity to go and listen to be screamed at for hours on end.
I think others have said this before, I think probably Stacey said it the best is, I think your job is way harder than ours, you know, and it's in some ways a lot more important than ours, you know, and we really thank you and all the, planning commissioners for, okay.
Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right. Scared him away. All right, are we done with that? Is there anything else on appointments? All right, this one's pretty easy. We talked about it at length yesterday. Bond authorizing resolution and lease agreement for a new fire station. Daniel wanted to touch on any highlights.
Yeah, so just to take a step back, the fire district has been interested for a long time in having a station in the south of the township. They've also had a need to expand. They're totally out of space. They have staff sleeping in office quarters. And they were able to come to an agreement with the city of Douglas to have a new space at the new Douglas City Hall. There have to be improvements made associated with that space in order to accommodate equipment and to retrofit it for the fire department's needs. In order to do that, they need to go out for a bond to pay for the improvements. As a fire district, they are unable to go out for a bond themselves. And so the fire district approached the township and asked if we would issue the bond on their behalf. And then they would pay the township back for the bond payments. And so this board agreed to do that. We put a notice out issuing or notifying about the issuance of bonds. There was a petition period that passed without any petitions coming in. And so before the board tonight is a resolution that would authorize the issuance of bonds not to exceed $5 million for the improvements at the new fire district station. In conjunction with that, we have an agreement for reimbursement and lease. So the township would retain ownership over the new site, and the fire department or the fire district would reimburse us for all bond payments and any costs that are incurred by the township through the process of the issuance of the bonds. So that is all for your review tonight.
I think we said it yesterday, but you stated it's really an honor that the fire department has asked us to partner with them and yes, well done. Any questions or comments on this agenda item? It's a long motion. Is someone prepared to make that motion? Where is the motion?
Right, on the
Make a motion to adopt resolution number 2026-12, resolution authorizing issuance of 2026 capital improvement bonds. Limited tax general obligation authorizing the issuance of bonds in an amount not to exceed $5 million for the acquisition and construction of a new fire station for the Saugatuck Fire District. Approving the reimbursement and lease agreement between Saugatuck Township and the Saugatuck Fire District as provided therein, and authorizing the township supervisor, treasurer, and other appropriate officials to take all actions necessary to complete the sale, issuance, and delivery of the bonds. I'll support.
Well done. Trustee Aldrich. We have a motion by Aldrich and support by Hummer. I think it's very appropriate as for our fire representative. Thank you for doing that. Any further discussion? And now I'll call the roll. Aldrich.
Yes.
Hummer.
Yes.
Osman.
Yes.
Bickford. Yes. Marcy.
Yes.
Great. And in the fire state, like it was dire, like that's one of the biggest things, like they were sleeping, like males and females having to share rooms without like windows and terrible conditions. And these are people like saving lives in our community. We can do better. So I'm so excited. Okay, that brings us to item number 4, which is like part-time employee. I'm going to not only recuse myself from this vote, but also let see, you're sitting in the wrong spot. Clerk Osmond and Manager DeFranco. I need a break. Go ahead. What page is this?
This must be done.
Yeah. Well, we've had the pleasure of working with Thomas for a couple of weeks now, maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. And he has proven himself not only to be capable, but refreshing in a way that, us old folks can't be. And he's been very capable, very interested in what we do. And he is a quick learner and he's quick on the, electronic portion of the job. And so I would like to make a. Is there a motion?
There was a motion on 67.
57. Make a motion to approve the temporary part-time employment of Thomas Bigford to provide administrative support as building, planning, and assessing departments at a rate of $25 per hour for no more than 30 hours per week as a non-exempt employee not eligible for township benefits, and to authorize the township manager to execute all necessary employment documents.
I'll support that.
Do you want to make the compensation retroactive?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, I missed that. We do want to make the compensation retroactive to June 1, 2026.
I'll support that too. As amended.
Yes. Quick, Leslie. Just take over this, chairing this part.
Oh, thank you. I will. Is there, a motion, there's a motion and support by Osmond and Helmrich. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 4-0 with Bigford abstaining.
Get back up. Brings us to item number 5, our last one, community development coordinator employment agreement. More good news.
Yes. Yeah, so as you know, we've been short-staffed for a few months now, and when we lost Morgan, who we really valued, we had discussions at the staff level and then also at the board level about what the real needs were currently, and whether or not just filling that position would really help us meet our needs. And we determined that we really needed to expand that position. And bring in somebody who would be able to assist building department, the planning department, and also be able to participate in some higher level projects, some grant administration, leading some committee work. We all know that we have a master plan update that's on the horizon, somebody to, put together and lead a steering committee and organize meetings, and we have a lot of work like that. And so we created a job description for community development coordinator, and we published that position, and we got a ton of responses from some really quality candidates. We ultimately conducted only 3 interviews, 2 follow-up interviews, and we were very fortunate to have Kate White apply. Kate White has history with the city of Saugatuck. Her grandparents lived here for many years. She's a former employee of the city of Saugatuck, and then her last employment was as the community development director or coordinator in Holland Charter Township. She also has a master's in public administration. Very interested in coming over here, continuing some of the work that she does at Holland Charter Township, but then also expanding that and learning more about what it's like and what it entails to be a township manager or a municipal manager. So we did make a formal offer to Kate, which she has accepted. And before you is an employment agreement to make Kate a full-time employee at the township. Offering benefits, starting salary at $78,000. And then all of the other details are documented in the employment agreement. So it is for your review if we want to make that final tonight. With her starting June 29th.
I don't want to put you on the spot, so you don't have to say this, but you did a great job of articulating to us at one point, I can't remember what it was like in here, being so low staffed. So just for all the constituents' sake, would you like to say a few words?
We really need more staff. I've been filling in for Morgan's position. Even though I've retired now 3 times.
Holding you back.
And Lori said, as soon as I get Kate trained with everything that I know, then I can retire again. So. I'm really looking forward to it. Kate is, I worked with her in Saugatuck City and she's bright, she's thorough, she's organized. And she's not afraid to try new things. She's not afraid to ask questions, and she would be a brilliant person in this position.
In light of that, I'd love to make a motion to approve the Community Development Coordinator Employment Agreement as presented between Saugatuck Township and Kate White.
I'll support.
We have a motion and support. Further discussion, this is not a roll call, is it?
No.
Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Be very fine here. We do not have any future topics unless someone has one they'd like to add. Well, we can't, it's not on the agenda, I say it. Brings us to item number 15, public comment. And I forgot to do this, I apologize. Do we have anybody on Zoom?
No.
No, okay, is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak at this point? Thank you for being here. Certainly appreciate it. I will go ahead then and close public comment section and open that up to, and then we will move on to item number 16, board member comments. I will start with trustee Marcy.
I actually have a couple. One is I really wanted to thank Cindy for stepping up. A lot of people wouldn't be able to do that, and all of our lives are chaotic, but it's been wonderful that she has. Thank you. And I didn't mention, let's see, John, when was the one candidate here and you spoke on a panel?
Oh, at the end of this movie?
Yeah. That's all right, we don't need the date, but
Thursday.
I just want to thank John. Every time one of us, I think, goes out into the public and comments, it really educates them, and it was about the election process. Because as you know, there's been a lot of controversy about the process. And those of us who have worked it, and the clerk and John, and there was a panel of other people from the city and both cities, right?
We had Kathy Rockington representing the city of Saugatuck. Oh, and Glenna.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Anyway, I just wanted to give you kudos for
Thank you. And it was,
doing that.
it was well attended, it was well received.
It was well attended.
Yes, and it was all about the processes.
Yep.
No slant to point
No,
of view.
no.
These are all the fail-safe things we all do to
To a certain.
not allow any kind of fraud, which we don't get.
So thank you.
Thanks for saying that.
Trustee Aldrich, do you have anything to add today?
No.
Okay. Treasurer Howard.
I have nothing this month. Just wait till next month, I'll be back full strength.
Yeah. You'll be like, yeah, make out for lost time, yeah. Clerk. Husband.
We have contracted with Douglas City and Saugatuck City to do a joint early voting session. It will be at the Douglas City Hall, and it will be 9 days early voting. We did send out notices to our registered voters, but that won't happen
Today,
It does not have dates on it. I've had questions about why it does not have dates on it. But because it's a permanent it's a permanent solution. And we don't want to have to send out notices for every election. It's going to be, you'll go there for your 9 days early voting. But on election day, our Saugatuck Township residents will vote here in this room. And we'll be here from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And the early voting in Douglas will be from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So if you want to vote early, that's one way you can do it. The other way is you can get an absentee ballot by requesting it.
Well said, thank you. All right, I'll just make a quick comment, kind of, our emergency services, person, representative for the township, Tony Shippa, and some others he's been doing a great job on making our community, if it's not already a heart safe community, getting there. And, he offers free, CPR, first aid, training on the defibrillators, the AEDs, and they're having a fundraiser. It's on social media. If you're on Facebook, just look up like Salisville, whatever, Heart Save Community. It's at Riverside Church from 11 to 2 on June 27. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun and will help fund placing AEDs in our, communities, and will help fund, continuing to do that first aid CPR training. So that's just fine. Right. Anything else from open board comments? All right. Well, that's it then. I'm gonna go ahead and adjourn today's meeting, less than an hour. It's 6:58 p.m. Thank you.